Okay, so very good afternoon, esteemed guests of the day, and also to all the participants. In a minute while, we will going to start our the validity session. So probably maybe a couple of minutes, let's say 5 minutes around. Hello, good afternoon sir, and good evening, sir, to your place, and good afternoon, Professor Dole. Yes,
Yes, yes.
yes,
Hello.
yes. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good
Yes,
evening.
yes, sir. Very good
Good
evening to
evening.
you, sir. Yes.
Good
So,
to
sir, we'll start in a couple of minutes, maybe around 5 minutes from now. Our
yeah.
Honorable Vice Chancellor is already in board, and also the Principal Sir is already on board, and Deputy Commissioner Sir would be joining in a minute a while. We spoke some time ago. He is accompanying our Honorable Minister Chandan Brahma in one of the district over here near. So it's in Dubri. The network strength is a little bit low. He informed me. So probably if the network strength and his situation permit, then he will be joining. So I told him that anytime you are welcome to join. We will be hosting up to 3 p.m. in Indian time. So that's the update for you, sir. And so we are admitting the people over here to join immediately. So, sir, in a couple of minutes, we will going to start, sir. Meanwhile, sir, let me introduce you also that we have the participant, which was a resource person or resource speaker for our session, like Dr. Amit Tuteja is here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So this that's Dr. Amit. So he's there. Thank you so much for blessing, sir.
Thanks.
And then yes, sir. Yes, sir. So in spite of your tight schedule, you have given your support to us. Thank you so much, sir. So actually, I'm looking and the as a co-host also, so I have to keep on admitting. So sometimes my attention go here and there. So for that, please excuse me. My sincere apology. So, sir, I want to just inform you that the today's session is also live in the YouTube. Our participant or our well wisher or our good wisher are not only here in the room, but they are also available in the YouTube page. But let me inform you that so far the session for us is very much learning experience, and throughout the 1 week, the 7 days, and entirely 7 days, every day we have a new a new learning. Of course, there were a time when we were really very much enthusiastic and very much amazed to see that this can be also be done. Like for example, the cases and the experience of a digital formatting of the village from Dr. Amit was really very much commendable. So entire this 1 week, the 7 days was really very much meaningful to us. Now I'm also sure that it is very much meaningful and very much benefited to our participant. Let me tell you, the participant were across the country. As I was saying in every session starting, we are very blessed to have a participant almost like uh, 15 to 20% from the across the country from India. Like for example, Jammu and Kashmir, is very close to my heart. Because I was in Uttarakhand, where I was studying in Roorkee. So I got an opportunity to go these mountain places. This wonderful. So that's why I always mention. Nevertheless, there are some participants from the central part of India, like for Bihar and from Gujarat. So this is really very much appreciating. And also let me tell you that we have a very enthusiastic and very encouraging participant, not in fact not a participant, but he's a mover of this session. And his name is Raja. Sorry, I misspell it. So it's from Tamil Nadu. Probably he is already there. So we have not only from that, we have participants from northeastern state also, like Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland. Of course, Nagaland Xavier College is very much in participate, very much active entire session. So really, I'm very happy that this small step of us have at least make a people vibrant. This is the also the idea behind that. These people get mover to their own place, and they built the new India. The India is required to be built, because you know, more than 70 years people over the villages are looking at us. You know, we are very much privileged. We are studying in a technical education. We live a good place, and also we 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 eat food, you know, and we have all kind of a luxury, or you know, all kind of, you know, support system, but the villages are not there. So that's why this Smart Village Lab and Unnat Bharat Abhiyan need to join hand together. And I'm sure that the director today is available from the Smart Village Lab, who is also the, you know, a very front leader or front mover of this program. Yes, I'm admitting on the other side also. So sorry, I distract sometime here and there. Okay, so we are already 40 plus. I think, should we start with the permission of a Vice Chancellor, sir?
Yes,
sir, am I?
we
Yes,
could.
yes. Okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
So we can start, right? Professor VK Vijay will also join. He had given a commitment, so he will be joining. Probably there will be some occupied here, but he'll be joining. So he'll be sure available with us. So team, Nilakshi, can I request to come forward? Are you already in room?
Yes, sir, I am here.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. So I think let's start the session. So I will like to request the principal sir also to maybe if comfortable with the net bandwidth, then on the video, and also
Yeah, okay.
yes, yes,
Video
okay, okay, you are there.
Till,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
net is okay.
Okay, perfect, sir. So I would like to also request the Vice Chancellor, sir, to come. If that bandwidth is not a big problem, then maybe request you to please come live, you know, with the video. Yes, yes. So almost everyone is there. So thank you so much, sir. So Nilakshi, our Vijay sir is not there. I think probably should I call him? Okay, so just communicated. Professor Vijay will be joining in a minute. So I think we should start. We are a little bit delayed. So since our Vice Chancellor sir could be very much occupied, and also Dr. Amit Tuteja would be very much occupied. So may I request to come forward, you know, to please introduce Nilakshi?
Yes, sir, I am here.
Yes, sir. So yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes. Please.
Greetings to one and all present here. Our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dheeraj Bora, Vice Chancellor, Assam Science and Technology University. Our guest of honor, Mr. Bhaskar Fukan, ACS Deputy Commissioner, Kokrajhar, Professor Birendra Kumar Vijay, IREDA Chair Professor, CRDT IIT Delhi National Coordinator, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, Dr. Hemanta Dollar, Assistant Professor, University of Melbourne, Director and Leader, Smart Village Lab, respected Principal Dr. Kamal Kumar Brahma, respected Dr. Medelson Ronghang, Coordinator Unnat Bharat Abhiyan and Smart Village Lab, Mineshwar Brahma Engineering College, Kokrajhar, and all the resource persons who were there with us from last 7 days of our seminar, participants from distinguished colleges, and all my dear friends. It is my immense warmth and great pleasure to grace all your presence in the closing ceremony of our one-week online workshop cum seminar, Smart Villages by Intervention and Visible Solutions, jointly organized by Smart Village Lab, Local Chapter, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan Unit, Dineshwar Brahma Engineering College and University of Melbourne. Before we begin this seminar, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you who sincerely committed to this event to make it a success. This event would have been impossible without the support of each and everyone present here. Now, I would like to introduce our chief guest, Professor Dheeraj Bora, sir. Professor Dheeraj Bora took over as the Vice Chancellor of Assam Science and Technology University at Jalukbari, Guwahati, Assam in November 2016. Prior to this appointment, Professor Bora headed the Institute for Plasma Research, IPR, Gandhinagar, and Wasalot, Chief Scientist of ITER India. Professor Bora also held the position of Deputy Director General and Director for Directorate for Controls, Heating and Diagnostic at ITER International Organization at Cadarache, France from September 2006 to December 2011. Thank you, sir. We are blessed that you are among us. Now, I would like to introduce our guest of honor, Mr. Bhaskar Fukan, sir. Mr. Bhaskar Fukan, sir, completed his schooling from Don Bosco School, Guwahati. He completed his MA, LLB, PG Diploma Journalist from Cotton College, Guwahati. He is Director Welfare of Tea Tribes, Managing Director, Assam Tourism Development Corporation at Government of Assam, and also ACS Deputy Commissioner, Kokrajhar. Thank you, sir. We are blessed that you are among us. Now, I would like to introduce our second guest of honor, Professor Birendra Kumar Vijay, sir. Professor Birendra Kumar Vijay is most acclaimed and internationally known professor in biogas and rural technologies. His concept on linking higher educational institute for village development and biogas purification and bottling technology were well adopted by Government of India and launched as programs by concerned ministry in the government. Professor Vijay and his team developed the concept and vision of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan movement from Progressive India, which was adopted by MHRD, Government of India in 2014. The program aims to create a virtuous cycle between society and an inclusive academic system by providing knowledge of educational institute, experience of voluntary organizations, and resource of government to support holistic rural development. Thank you, sir, for being here with us. Now, I would like to introduce our mentor, our third guest of honor, Dr. Hemanta Doloy, sir. He had, hello?
Audible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can listen to you.
Sir, I would like to introduce Dr. Hemanta Doloy, sir. He is presently the Associate Professor in Construction Management at University of Melbourne, Australia, and also the Founding Director of Smart Village Lab. He is also the founding chair of the International Conference on Smart Villages and Rural Development, COSWARD. He had completed his Bachelor of Engineering from Jorhat Engineering College in Civil Engineering Department and Masters of Engineering from Asian Institute of Technology. He had completed his Doctor of Philosophy from University of Sydney specialization with project management. He completed his graduate certificates in university teaching in educational leadership and administration general from University of Melbourne. He was the senior civil engineering at joint venture BBCT at Bangkok Metropolitan Area, Thailand. He was also the postdoctoral fellow at University of Sydney. He also served as the lecturer and senior lecturer at University of Melbourne. Thank you, sir, for supporting us. Because of you only, it is possible for us to make this event a successful one. Now, I would like to start the program by requesting our respected principal, sir, Dr. Kamal Kumar Brahma, to kindly deliver a welcome speech. Principal, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I would like to inform you all the panelists that Deputy Commissioner sir has already joined. He's
Yeah.
in the room now.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Please, sir. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome to all of you at the closing ceremony of 1 week online workshop come seminar on smart village by intervention and visible solutions, jointly organized by Smart Village Lab local chapter and Unnat Bharat Abhiyan unit, Vinishar Brahma Engineering College, Kokrajhar, and University of Melbourne, Australia, funded by Tekuptree. I find immense pleasure in introducing our honorable chief guest of the closing ceremony, Professor Dheeraj Bora sir, honorable Vice Chancellor, us to Guwahati. We are really thankful to him for taking the time out of his busy schedule to attend the closing ceremony of 1 week online workshop and seminar on Smart Village. It is also immense pleasure to me to introduce our and welcome our guest of honor of the closing ceremony, uh, Mr. Bhaskar Fukan, Deputy Commissioner Kokrajhar, Professor B.K. Bijoy, IREDA Professor, CRDT, IIT Delhi, and National Coordinator, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, Dr. Hemant Daloi, Director and Leader, Smart Village Lab, University of Melbourne, Australia. We are really thankful to them for taking the time out of their busy schedule to attend the closing ceremony of our 1 week online program. It is also immense pleasure to me introduce and welcome all our speakers, research persons of this 1 week online workshop come seminar to the closing ceremony. As speakers, respectively, we have Mr. Minat Tarabdar, Mr. Saurabh Vivek Sagar, Professor V.K. Vijay, Ms. Hazel Walang, Mr. Samir Borua, Dr. Urvashi Shani, Dr. Namami Sharma, Dr. Amit Tuteja, Dr. Hemant Doloi, Dr. Robert Crawford, Professor Sosindra Kumar Kakoti, Professor R.M. Pant, Mr. Ronendro Narjari, Dr. Kiran Chaudhary. I welcome all the participants of this 1 week online workshop come seminar uh, organized by Smart Village Lab and UBA, Vinishar Brahma Engineering College and University of Melbourne, Australia, to this closing ceremony, without which the success of workshop was not possible. In this 1 week long workshop, the participant got many knowledges like leadership and nation building in smart village and the role of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan in making village resilient, highlighted the various activities that were taken by Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, and also mentioned that all the colleges are now coming together and joining hands in developing rural areas. They spoke about smart villages, a university intervention, microfinance in rural areas, and the smart mindset pupil role of community-based institution in making village smart. The speaker spoke about sustainability through connectivity and entrepreneurs, etc. So I hope this smart village lab will develop the villages from every corner of the state as well as country, which is develop all corners of the country. That means every villages develop means the district develop, then state, then country. So this is very nice, uh, uh, nice workshop that guided by Dr. Hemant Doloi, Associate Professor of University of Melbourne. So I thanks him again. At the last, I thanks to and welcome our TechIF coordinator, Madelson, Dr. Madelson. So he complete nicely the online 1 week online workshop. So thank you. Thank you all. I conclude here my speech. Thank you. Welcome all.
I am in a meeting.
Thank you. So
Thank
much.
you, sir, for your valuable words. Now, I would like to request my friend, Ms. Padmini Tamuli, to please give the deliberation report on smart villages by intervention and visible solution. That is our seminar, about our seminar. Thank you.
Thank you, Nilakshi. A warm good afternoon to one and all present here. The 1 week online workshop cum seminar started from 14 September 2020. The main motive of organizing this workshop cum seminar was to encourage the youth to develop the rural areas because India stands on rural area, and until and unless the rural areas are developed, India can never grow. We know that approximately 350 million people in India live below poverty line and they are deprived from the basic needs of life. This workshop is the first step of Bineshwar Brahma Engineering College Kokrajhar in understanding the needs for rural transformation. It is supported by Smart Village Lab, University of Melbourne as a knowledge partner. With the funding of Ministry of Education and World Bank under TechIP 3, and Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, an SVL local chapter, has organized this workshop with the firm believing that each participant will carry forward positive learning to respective institute and organization. We have over 200 plus registration and 80 to 90 participants join every day. All these sessions were very interactive, and we are happy to have enthusiastic participants all across the country like Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Tamil Nadu, etc. On the first day, Dr. Hemant Doloi was present to kickstart the program and shared the concept of Smart Village Lab to all the participants. He spoke about the need of developing villages in India. The first session was delivered by renowned journalist, social entrepreneur, and head of Nanda Talukdar Foundation, Mr. Mrinal Talukdar. He spoke on smart villages through CSR. The experience of 4 villages of Assam was shared. He also informed about the initiative of water dispenser in the village on people participation mode, where villagers get water at 30 to 50 paise per liter. In this way, the unemployment problem, drinking water, and sanitation was solved. In the second session of day 1, Mr. Sharat Vivek Sagar, social entrepreneur and founder of Dextery Global, spoke on leadership and nation building in smart villages. He said that villages can be smart if work is done with the active participation from the villagers and also understand what problems are they facing. On the second day of our online workshop cum seminar, Professor V.K. Vijay, Sir, IREDA Chair Professor CRDT, IIT Delhi, and National Coordinator UBA addressed our meeting, and he spoke about the role of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan in making villages resilient. He highlighted the various activities that were taken by Unnat Bharat Abhiyan and also mentioned that all the colleges are now coming together and joining hands in developing rural areas. And in the second session, Ms. Hazel Wahlang, coordinator UBA Assam Don Bosco University, joined the meeting and she spoke about Towards Smart Villages, a university intervention. She spoke about all the activities undertaken by Assam Don Bosco University in accordance with Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. She also mentioned that they are focusing on skill development of the people and education. On the third day, Mr. Samir Borua, top banker, mentor, and advisor, Laghu Udyog Bharti Notice, started the meeting and he spoke on microfinance and rural development. He mainly discussed on the role of bank in microfinance of a village, the salient features of microfinance, the gap between financial system and need for microfinance in India, microfinance operations in Northeast, some of his rural development experiences, etc. And in the second session, Dr. Urvashi Sahni, social entrepreneur and CEO, Study Hall Education Foundation woman activist, joined us and she spoke on changing the old regressive mindset by education in making a village smart. She emphasized on making the mindset of people smart, and only after that a village can prosper. As we know, women are generally denoted as underpowered and behave like a victim in many rural areas. In such case, education should be the main tool from kindergarten itself, and everyone should be taught about their rights, secularism, etc. On the fourth day, session 1, Dr. Namami Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Social Work, Tezpur University, joined us and she spoke on role of community-based institution in making a village smart. She highlighted the points like role of CBI in Smart Village Initiative, stages of forming a CBI, the challenges faced. She also explained the story of Bitul district, Madhya Pradesh. And on the second session, Dr. Amit Tuteja, research scientist, social entrepreneur, and CEO of Connecting Dreams Foundation, joined us and he spoke about sustainability through connectivity and entrepreneurship. He has worked immensely for the people of rural areas. A 3D model is being developed in the villages via which the people can communicate and can solve the problems faced by them. On the fifth day, Dr. Hemanto Doloy, Director and leader of Smart Village Lab and Associate Professor, University of Melbourne, Australia, joined the program. Being the leader and director of SVL, he explained the mission and vision behind the need of developing villages not only in Assam but also in entire India. He also explained about the objectives and scope of SVL. And in the second session, Professor Dr. Robert Crawford, Associate Professor, University of Melbourne, joined us. It was a great opportunity for us to have someone all the way from Australia with us. Professor Robert spoke on prioritizing environmental sustainability in designing smart villages solution. He mainly highlighted about the scientific context on developing villages. On the sixth day, Professor Sachindra Kumar Kakoti, Deputy Director, IIT Guwahati and Regional Coordinator, UBA, joined us in the meeting. He spoke on technology intervention for sustainability livelihood of rural artisans. As we know, without proper technology, villages cannot grow. So our respected sir have talked about the need of modern technology and also highlighted the various intervention taken in hand by Roottook Northeast IIT Guwahati. And in the second session, Professor R.M. Pant, Director, NIRD and PRNERC, joined us and he spoke on smart villages, concept and indicators. He explained about all these schemes undertaken by the government and the proper utilization of it and how the villages can become smart. And on the last day of our workshop cum seminar, Ranindra Narjari, Chief Manager, State Bank of India, Kokrajhar, joined and he spoke on bank products for benefits of people. He highlighted the points by which the people of rural areas can take the help of the bank for their benefits. He also explained about the different schemes and policies that are undertaken by the State Bank of India. And on the second session, Dr. Kiran Chaudhary, Professor, Mechanical Engineering Department, Head of Applied Science and Humanities and Coordinator UBA, MCTS, Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Technology, Mumbai, spoke on role of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan in villages transformation and the experiences of RGIT. She explained the different ways a village can transform and what are the key points that should be kept in mind in doing so. This was all about our effort to rejuvenate our villages and prepare the young boys and girls to take up commitment for stronger and smarter village. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Padmini, for giving such a brief and wonderful deliberation report. I consider it a great honor to welcome our chief guest, Professor Dheeraj Bora, Vice Chancellor, Assam Science and Technology University, to deliver a speech and share his views with us.
Good afternoon to everybody.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Respected guests of honor, Mr. Bhaskar Phukan, Deputy Commissioner Kokrajhar, Professor V.K. Vijay, who is a ARID Chair Professor, CRDT IIT Delhi, National Coordinator of the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, Dr. Doloy, Director and Leader of the Smart Village Lab in the University of Melbourne, Australia. Our own Dr. Kamal Brahma, Principal BBEC Kokrajhar, Dr. Midalsan, Coordinator, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan Unit, and convener and scientific member of the local chapter of the Smart Village Lab. We just now heard Padmini Tamuli, student coordinator, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan Unit, and convener, member of the Smart Village Lab of the local chapter today. Along with that, I express my gratitude and respect to the resource persons, all other participants from other parts of the country, and our own students attending such an important meeting for the whole week. And today we are here in the valedictory session to conclude an extremely important workshop which was there for last whole 1 week. I must congratulate BBEC Kokrajhar for this initiative of holding a Smart Village by Intervention and Visible Solutions workshop come seminar in Kokrajhar, and basically bring everybody online all across the country and people from outside the country for such an important meeting. In fact, you just heard that I had come back to Assam in 2016, towards the end of 2016. One of my first visits was to BBEC, and I really congratulate them that they have come a long way from just 3 years back when I saw them. I remember that day, they did not have power connection, and the whole place was extremely hot. Place was being put in place, and principal along with some of his faculties were in one room trying to hold everything together. So from that point onwards, the way they have come up in just 3 years, it's commendable. And I once again congratulate them for holding such an important workshop, because I'm sure through this workshop, we have been able to propagate the idea that it is extremely important to empower our villages if we are talking of a movement of the kind Smart Village movement. This, if it comes through, can really change the living of our rural villages. I think all of us, if not us, our ancestors, they all came from villages. And in principle, all of us, we are product of the soil where we are born. And I'm sure no wonder that is why our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi, he once told that the soul of India lives in villages. And we still have, as we heard today, Dr. Midalsan and others telling that 70% of our people, we are still residing in villages or small towns. Therefore, it is extremely important that we make the smart villages a reality, not a dream. And through that, we can bring happiness to these 70% of our people who still live in these villages. Now, when we talk of creating something smart, we talk of smart cities, which is closest to smart village. Now, we talk about building smart cities. We invest lot of funds, and sometimes only some people get benefited by this kind of an funding or this kind of an investment. And you know that very soon technologies become obsolete. Therefore, these expensive infrastructure technology many times becomes obsolete and they needs to be replaced. And once again, to talk of investment, and often frequently, this is what is happening. But if we look at what is this concept of smart village, this is actually in contrast. In fact, we are talking of very little investment probably, and we are talking of inexpensive equipments. We equip our villages with these, with the digital tools, which could be portable, which we can afford. And these tools sometimes actually need very little learning or no learning curve of the people is required at all. And this actually can take us. It is an access to the global market, what actually our village people are looking at. So Unnat Bharat Abhiyan is rightly concentrating in our villages with this local smart lab concept, having local labs at different places, far-flung areas of the country, and through them, they're trying to propagate, they inculcate the scientific temper among the people. Because only then this would allow us to start a so-called grassroots movement to impact our lives where people have no access to proper information, resources, practical training, and even lack of simple transformative technologies. So I think I once again say that it is extremely important that we take this kind of movement seriously, and we, the so-called educated youth or the educational institutes, come in to these movements to make them happen. Especially I would say in Assam, we do need it badly, because we saw how badly we are connected in terms of communication. We had the lockdown, we wanted to have our online courses, and I'm sorry to say that many of our students in the villages could not attend these classes, many of these classes. So I think it is high time we think, and here I would like to take the opportunity because we have our Honorable respected Deputy Commissioner Kokrajhar around to tell you that the local governments have to help us identifying these requirements and putting them in place. And of course, we know no pain, no gain. So we have to take some pain if we want to have some gainful experience output from this kind of a smart village Abhiyan. So we need to have, so what we need is that we need to find out, I would say, the pain points of our villages, to find out the real rural Assam, and then work on the issues which can bring our artisans, our common people, farmers to the forefront. They can directly connect themselves to the global arena. They can directly do their business directly without any middleman in between. So what villages need, actually, if you analyze all these things, is very simple. That what we need is access to correct, but they have to be timely informations which should be given to our farmers, to our villagers. We need some digital tools, and of course we need a user-friendly platform that would eliminate what I told just now, the need of the middleman, so that they can get the full facility or full benefit of the product, what they are producing. The platforms which we use currently, which are being developed, actually, these can directly actually take you to the global markets. Therefore, it is not very difficult to bring these down to our villages. This will basically revive our art, our culture, our legacy, and it will curtail many untoward incidents which are happening. Let me not go tell those in detail, but you understand these. So in nutshell, I would say that this is how we need to look at this concept of smart village. It is, of course, we do need, I would say, we do need to build roads. We need to have good, clean water. The tank should be clean. We need the toilet facilities, public buildings, etc. But they are not the only things which we need when we talk of a smart village. So it is basically all about building people, investing in modest resources that would empower our lives. This is what we need. We need to empower our villagers. That is what is the main goal in this kind of an activity. So smart village, this is an idea actually. It is not any very specific location that some village near Kokrajhar has to be made a smart village. It is basically a destination where all of us would like to go. All of us, we should be able to go there. So it is basically, the smart village is a community which will be empowered by digital technology and of course the open innovations platforms which we just talked of, and this would allow us to access the global market, which is what is, I think, a very, very important factor in this whole smart village concept. Now, this is how we need to progress bit by bit. We had one seminar workshop of this kind. I would suggest the BBEC as one of our affiliating colleges. We would like to support them. So they should be able to go forward by holding these kind of innovative things all around in the state so that we bring the message of science, message of technology to our common people. Actually, our university did start a program before the lockdown. We had something called Catch Them Young for Engineers. And we went around to almost about 30 meetings we had, and each meeting we had about 10 schools. So you can imagine we went around right from Hodia down to Dhupuri, except Guwahati. We went to all around to these 300 plus schools to tell them what is science all about, how it can bring a change to our life. And the children, they really enjoyed. We told them what is robotics, we talk of how do you make a rocket, what are the principles of a rocket. We told them how to make a dummy rocket. We played with them. We played robotics. We made, in fact, robots played football match among students. So these are things to bring in interest to our people to understand how we need to go forward. And now, of course, we know that the new education policy, which has been put in place, we now in Government of Assam, we are working on the implementation modes, which should definitely help this kind of smart village concepts in a big way. And I'm sure we would be able to attain our goal in a quicker time scale than what we would have we were planning in the earlier times. So I heard about the resume or the short thing what Ms. Tamuli told us about the proceedings in this meeting. And I think these fall in sync with what I just now told. Therefore, we would like to join hands with everybody, and then, because this is the only university which is a technology university in the state, and we have all the engineering colleges with us, we can help you with our students. They are very, very enthusiastic. They come out on the ground at the moment you say that we need their help. So with this, I would like to say thank you very much for bringing such an important meeting to this part of the state, of the country, to Assam, and for the outside participants who have joined this meeting for last 5 days. They have understood some ground realities of what we have in Assam, and I'm sure they could also contribute into many of our concepts to go forward beyond. So with this, I would like to once again thank all of you for taking such an initiative, especially Professor Vijay and his team, that they are supporting us in this place with Doloi, with our with his concepts. I would say that with the help of our local governments, local institutes, we will be able to go a long way and make this dream a success. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
Sir.
much, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable words. Your words will help us go forward and reach success. Now, it is my privilege to request our first guest of honor, Mr. Bhaskar Fukan, ACS Deputy Commissioner, Kokrajhar, to please deliver his speech with us.
So because of the network strength, I think I'm not sure whether Honorable Deputy Commissioner can speak or not, but he's available in this room. I just have a chat before minutes of ago. Sir, is it possible for you to speak? Maybe not the video, because he told me that video is not possible at the place where he is. Hello, sir. I think this network is the biggest challenge in entire country. Of course, in Assam is a larger dimension. I think not possible. I think so. I think then we should keep on proceeding our schedule as per schedule. So
Yes,
I
sir.
think now Professor Vijay is already there. So I think we can go ahead with Professor Vijay, right? So
Yes, sir.
meanwhile, I'll try to communicate what is the possibility.
May I please request Professor Virendra Kumar Vijay, sir, IREDA Chair Professor, CRDT, IIT Delhi, National Coordinator, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, to please deliver his speech with us.
Thank you, and I would like to congratulate the organizers for this beautiful event on smart villages by interventions and visible solutions. So respected Professor Bora, Vice Chancellor of Science and Technology University of Assam, Mr. Fukan, Deputy Commissioner, Kokrajhar, Professor Hemant Doloi, Melbourne University, Dr. Kamal Brahma, Principal of this college, Dr. Medalson, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan Coordinator, and dear participants. Now, organizing this kind of event, particularly for villages, is not so easy. But now people have understood the importance of villages in our country. If you see, there are more than 600,000 villages, 6 lakh villages. And if you count cities, it is only the 750 districts, 4 metros, 1000 cities, and if you include tribal areas, talukas, small urban areas, then total numbers goes around 6,000. So one side 6,000 urban population cities, and another side more than 6 lakh villages. It means the Vice Chancellor rightly said that still soul of India lies in villages. Nearly 68% population lies in villages. And after COVID-19, if you remember, more than 12 million people migrated from urban areas to rural areas because of the unpleasant situation and unhygienic situation and living conditions of these cities, and they could not afford to attract these people who were the laborers and workers in those cities. That means we have to develop our villages because this is the spirit of the country. And when we are thinking of developing villages, it cannot be better than a smart village. But we have to define a smart village very clearly. Any smart word, whether it's a smart city or a smart village, it should be human centric, not technology centric. So we have to think that the development which takes place for our villages is smart, but it should focus on people, it should focus on their livelihood, it should focus on their development, their physical development, their spiritual development, their mental development, and their livelihood. If we are only engaging technology, then it is not the smart village, it is not the developed village. Therefore, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan is propagating a system that how our academic institution in the country, particularly higher educational institutes, develops our villages. I am reminded that Unnat Bharat Abhiyan National Steering Committee chairman is Dr. Vijay Bhatkar, who is the chancellor of Nalanda University. And when I was discussing with him, he informed me that when Nalanda University was there, at that time, more than 200 surrounding villages were taking care of all the requirements of Nalanda University. It means we are not adopting villages, our surrounding villages. We have to be, we have to sit in their lap. We have to work with them, and then only we are able to contribute for the villages. So our student, our faculty are visiting our villages, participating in their Gram
Hello, sir.
Sabhas, yes, understanding their situation, and then giving their new technologies, giving their understanding, the modern knowledge to the people, and our students and our faculty members understanding the traditional wisdom, the traditional knowledge, understanding of the villagers, grassroots people. So for their enrichment, for their understanding, so that they can understand the real life challenges. Otherwise, it is only the bookish knowledge which we are providing in academic institutions. So in new education policy, all these new changes will are taking place, and then our students and our faculty members are learning many new things from the people they are visiting, the people with whom they are working in villages. So this is a two-way learning process. It is only the college or university, but by going to villages, we are learning many things. We are learning traditional knowledge. We are learning their wisdom, the real life challenges, and therefore, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, recently Prime Minister said that now in next 5 years, every village in the country should be attached to some higher education institute. We are having nearly 45,000 colleges. Out of that, 35,000 colleges are governed by UGC, 10,000 colleges are governed by AICT. So all these 45,000 colleges have to adopt a nearly every 5 villages around them and work for their development in collaboration with the district administration. And in Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, we are having the subject expert groups for technical interventions. So these subject expert groups are being coordinated by a different independent institutions. If I give an example, water resource management is coordinated by IIT Kharagpur. Rural artisans in craft is coordinated by IIT Kanpur. Rural infrastructure is coordinated by NIT Delhi. Capacity building is coordinated by National Institute of Rural Development, Hyderabad. Skill development program is coordinated by AICT itself. Curriculum development is coordinated by UGC itself. Rural energy system is coordinated by IIT Delhi. School education is also coordinated by IIT Delhi. Solid waste management and is coordinated by IIT Madras. So likewise, different subject expert groups are there in the country in Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, and every subject expert group is supporting any proposal on these subjects of participating institute for their villages. So Unnat Bharat Abhiyan provides financial support for these interventions in these subject areas. So with this, we are now, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan has signed an MOU with CSIR also recently. So CSIR is having many laboratory across the country, and whatever technologies have been developed in past 70 years by CSIR, ICAR, DST, IITs, NITs, we are preparing a compendium of it, and based on this compendium, we will be organizing skill upgradation program of villagers. Those people who have migrated back from urban areas to rural areas after COVID-19, as well as people are living in rural areas for their livelihood, for their entrepreneurship, for their good quality income. Unnat Bharat Abhiyan program will be organizing skill development of these people based on the technology which have been developed in past 70 years in the country. And all our regional coordinating institute and participating institute will help in organizing these kind of training. And first, they have to understand the skill level of these people through a format which we will be providing to all the participating institute in the country. And we will be preparing the knowledge base of villagers with the participating institute, and they will request to their regional coordinating institute that what kind of skill their requirement is, and based on their requirement, the respective regional coordinating institute and CSI laboratory will organize training programs for their skill development. So I'm not going to give you other things and not take my address long, but IIT Delhi is working with for interventions in the agriculture, health, education, connectivity, water management, energy resources, skill, rural industries, craft, and how we can have sustainable livelihood for rural areas. That is the major program. And now Pradhan Mantri ji has requested that Atmanirbhar Bharat, how we can have Atmanirbhar Bharat only when our villages become Atmanirbhar. And with this, how our villages can become self-reliant or Atmanirbhar, they can become self-reliant only when our technical institutions will be collaborating with them, our youth will be participating in their production process, entrepreneurship, marketing, taking care of this, and then they will be able to have good quality livelihood. Then only we can say that our villages are smart, our villages are self-reliant. That was the dream of Mahatma Gandhi. So now in 150th year of Mahatma Gandhi, we have to fulfill the dream of Mahatma Gandhi for Gram Swaraj. And with this request, I will request all participating institute, all colleges, all people, administration, district administration in the whole country, that if we have to fulfill the dream of Mahatma Gandhi, we have to have Gram Swaraj in the country, and that is only possible when people get good quality livelihood. And now reverse migration has already started from urban areas to rural areas, and urban areas cannot sustain more population. So therefore, the good quality lies in villages. And now reverse migration again, in next 10 years, all people will be settled in villages. And how we can provide sustainable livelihood to people, that is the major requirement. So Unnat Bharat Abhiyan is now making effort that how we can provide sustainable livelihood in villages, utilizing the youth of our colleges and skill of our colleges. And in that turn, they can learn, our students and faculty members can learn the traditional wisdom and knowledge of these people. So I extend my good wishes for this kind of smart villages in the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
sir,
so much, sir. Thank you so much.
thank you so much for your valuable words. Now, I would like to request the one because of whom Smart Village Lab is now open in Mineshwar Brahma Engineering College also. Our mentor, our guide, Dr. Hemanta Dole, Assistant Professor, University of Melbourne, Director and Leader, Smart Village Lab, Chair, COSVAR 2020. May I please request Dr. Hemanta Dole, sir, to deliver his speech with us.
Thank you, Nilakshi. I'm audible, right? You can hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right, and many thanks for bringing this program to such a grand success. All involved, I really wanted to congratulate you from bottom of my heart. So again, respected participants, all the distinguished presenters, and people present here, I really wanted to share a few important points about where we come from and what is our mission under my direction here. So before I actually share those vision and missions, it is important that I first of all appreciate the initiatives and the courages that Mineshwar Brahma Engineering College have shown in this very early stage of our intervention that we are working in a collective manner. So what I'm going to do now, because many of the participants in this particular forum are quite new, I have not had any interactions with them before. So it is important that I just wanted to give you a bit of a background of our work so that you understand basically where we are coming from and what we are doing. And our work is nowhere in competition of any of the great work going in the state in the country, but we are just complementing whatever ways we can complement to the other grand events happening around the country. And especially Professor Bijoy, what he has been doing and what he has articulated, I really salute you, sir. You have been taking a massive undertaking here, and the work under your leadership is known not only in India but around the world. And also Professor Bora, what you mentioned about the vision and your role as an institution, as a university head in the technical settings in Assam, it is incredible. So I really salute you all for your great vision and leadership provided in the state and the country. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to share a few slides here. Let me just see whether I can get through. So can you see my slides here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So I don't know whether I'm on the slide mode though. Just one sec. I may not be in the slide mode.
Yeah.
It
is, sir. It is. It is.
It is slide mode. Okay.
Yes.
Am I? No, I think I have to get onto this slideshow, right? Okay, I did on slideshow. Okay, that's fine. So the whole work has started with a project that I was working from the government of Assam with the University of Melbourne. It's a collaborative research project, and first of all, my sincere gratitude to the state of Assam, who had given us this kind of opportunity to work with the University of Melbourne, and Assam Engineering College being our nodal institution back in Assam, we have had this kind of collaboration going for last almost 3.5 years. So in this particular project, we had a very clear focus on three very important elements. So one is basically building the construction management capacity in the state of Assam, because construction management, as you know, is not quite a recognized discipline whole of India. Only a few programs exist, but construction management actually requires to build the capacity in terms of built environment. So with that kind of idea in mind, I thought that this is a great way of introducing the construction management as a scientific discipline to be accepted and develop the capacity in the state. So we have actually worked on that particular aspect quite substantially. And today we have delivered a new program, state-of-art program in construction management to the Assam Engineering College to actually deliver that as a formal education down the track. Then the other very important component was building the knowledge base, which is basically research that we wanted to do, not only just to show basically how the research can be done in the space of rural development, but also building that culture and capacity in research, taking into consideration of the engineering colleges, as Professor Vijay very clearly mentioned, that so many engineering colleges are there, 45,000 engineering colleges in the whole country. I think the culture of research is very important so that we can develop our own solutions for our own problems. So that is the reason why that research component was also part of that particular program. And finally, we also, whatever the work that we do, empirically that we can provide some sort of policy support for the government of Assam. And that is the policy recommendation that we have to do for Assam as part of that particular program. So this is in nutshell is a program in construction management. These are the subjects basically, and these are the subjects that we developed through this program using with the help of some of the visitors from Assam Engineering College to the University of Melbourne. We have provided them the mentorship, we have provided them the support, and then they have been able to work with us to develop these programs. In this program quite ready for government of state government of Assam through the Assam Engineering College. The second part is through the research, we have been able to generate some very important knowledge base. So we have written a couple of books out of this particular work. And this is the first book, as you can see, Planning Housing Infrastructure for Smart Villages, very much specific to Assam kind of context, but again, with a very strong reference to the world literature as well. So this particular book, as you can see, talking about the smart villages, we have had a range of different areas: income generation, education, agriculture, housing, energy, waste, and so on. So these things are all important for developing the rural, as the previous speakers very rightly mentioned. So we have had a very clear scanning of this knowledge in the context of how it can be applied in the rural settings, with Assam being the context here. Then the second book also we have produced out of that particular project is the affordable housing for smart villages. Again, housing is a very important concept. It is not simply about providing the shelter for someone, but also having a character. And when you talk about 6,000 plus villages in India, every single village in India has got a very unique culture, very unique way of living, very unique way of way of life, the lifestyle of the people. So it is very, very important that we somehow retain that sort of culture. It is not something that we can really, if we just simply work on the top-down kind of intervention to modernize the villages, it could well be that the villages will actually lose the characters. We don't like that to happen. In fact, Indian villages are so unique around in the entire world that these villages have to be retained in value, so that this becomes one of our attractions to show to the rest of the world in the time into the future. So these are our like a liquid, our actually gold mine in India in terms of income generation, in terms of modernizing those people by showing them the value, history, culture, heritage, and so on. So then what it means in terms of the housing in this case, this is what basically we have captured in this particular book. And then this picture on the cover is a very important picture, because that is the house I was born and brought up. It is a house in a village in Jorhat where I was born. But over the time, of course, the house got modernized, but this house has got something very unique to be able to tell the story about what the affordability means. So I have captured some of my imaginations and experience through this book as well. So then, in the policy support, through all the work that we have done, we have actually written up everything in a very concise and format for the government of Assam to understand what it means in the context of smart villages. So this policy was developed, taking all the work in a summary format and finally given to the government of Assam. And we do have the endorsement of these honorable ministers, as you can see, for this particular documentation that we have launched formally in Assam last year. So then where did we start? What is the rationale of this work that we have done over 3.5 years? I am from Jorhat, and Majuli is very close to my house, and I have actually taken Majuli as my study area for developing the knowledge in the first place. And then this is where basically there are some pictures here. Don't worry, I mean, these are the problems that we have got in Assam. And this is not the problem with the flood, problem with the house, perhaps. So this is the state of affairs. But what we have done here, I'm not going to go too much here, but quickly talking about this particular slide here, as you can see. So if you look at the top right picture there, where that woman is in the flood water, and you can see the houses behind are the one actually creating that barrier to that flowing water. And because this water cannot go anywhere, and this water is everywhere in the built environment, built area, and that's the havoc that the flood is creating. But if you look at the bottom left picture here, these are some of the traditional vernacular houses that people have been lived by the floodplains. People knew that the water will come and go, but there's a way of living. So these people never had the problem with the flood. And this is a real house that I have taken the photo in Majuli. And then also on the right hand side, you can see another house, which is not directly on the water, but yet quite ready for flood to come as well. So this kind of knowledge is there among the indigenous people, but somehow we have to retain it. But today we are actually not quite retaining those, but in the name of modernization, we are very quickly replacing these vernacular characters with brick and mortar houses. So that is not something that can go for too long, and this is where that R&D is very, very important for us. R&D is the one that basically gives you that validity. And what we have done, when I have taken Majuli as my test bed, we have collected across 37 villages the data, because data is the key. Without knowing the actual data, you cannot design the intervention. So we have collected across 37 villages in Majuli, across 2,500 households, some very important data. And this data was collected using the ICT, information technology, kind of intervention, where we developed an app system, in the iPad, and we have trained the villagers to be able to rep run across the villages and provide us this data using our iPads. So this is an interface of that particular app that we designed, purpose-built app for that particular purpose. And Majuli is where we have done we collected the data, 37 villages, 2,300 households, and we have collected a range of different data, starting from the needs and requirements and what they have, what they are in need, and versus the demographic distribution as well, women requirement versus men requirement, children's requirement versus elderly requirement, and things like that. So we have collected lots of data from that place, and that based on that we have done lots of analysis here. If I'm just able to run this particular video here, you have a look. So this particular video is showing you how every single house within that 37 villages, 2,500 households are captured, and then we plotted with the georeference. So every single house, the data is being put into the system, and this data is now giving us lots of analysis power. So we can actually look at a particular house, what do they have, what do they need, versus we can look at 10 houses together, or 100 houses together, or even 2 villages together versus 3 villages together in different level of abstraction. So as you can see here, so this is the system that we developed. It's a very smart system, and this data was collected using the ICT, using the app, and this data was directly fed into our system using the cloud computing. And this, based on that information, we are immediately able to find out basically what this particular location is about, who are the people living there, what are the needs and requirements of those people, and how we can, work out the interventions that is purpose built, and that is direct intervention that these people will be benefited out of our, the solutions that we bring to them. So this is very important. So this is just nothing but kind of a census kind of data, but very much automated in the digital format, as you can see. And this is the Majuli, as you can see. We can zoom in, zoom out, and then we can look at the entire region with a very in our fingertip. So that is what basically we have again developed that as a proof of concept, and this proof of concept has been demonstrated to the government of Assam. And we said, look, if you are serious and really you need to continue with us with this collaboration, we can actually digitize the entire village. In Assam, we have got about 26,000 villages, as opposed to 600,000 villages across the country. So 26,000 villages, as you can see, if we can digitize everything and then work on this platform, it will be so much easier. So this is where basically we have done it. And I'm going to show you a few examples of what is currently the state of affairs in the state of Assam. Professor Vijay has mentioned about PEHEL, and this is a fantastic reference material for supporting the Housing for All program in India. And I have got all the respect to this particular documentation here done by UNDP, but when it comes to actual delivery, there is a problem. Problem is that these are the houses being delivered in Assam. So these are the houses being delivered in Assam under that program. And you can see here, this is the house. Somebody has been receiving this house under that program, and you see any of us today in this particular forum, if I ask you this question, would you live in this house? No matter what, how poor are you, would you ever live in this house? Answer is no, because there is no plinth height, and this house is just a brick and mortar house that somebody has got some free money and built it for someone. Nobody's going to live in the house. And this is what's happening in Assam. So today, because of the top-down intervention coming from center and this kind of massive program, these are the mega programs. These mega programs are not delivering the actual value that is required in a particular village settings. It is very important that we develop the interventions from the bottom up, not the top down. So this is another house. This house is built without any consideration, just in the middle of nowhere. And there's a domkol as well. And then this, you think that somebody is going to live in this house? Nobody's living there. And if somebody is living there, these people will never, ever modernize their lifestyle. They will never modernize. And you cannot simply give something like, brick and mortar of this kind of products to the villagers for the name of modernizing them. They are not going to modernize. These villagers are not going to get anything out of this. So we are wasting public money. This is very important. Rather, we'll let these villagers live their own lifestyle with the indigenous character. That will be much more attractive, much more better way of rather, empowering these people. And look at this house here. So this is a mix of everything. So in Assam, we used to have this Paniali bear, this Paniali kind of, the facades. They're beautiful. They are good for Assam on the right-hand side. And you can see on the left-hand side, they have replaced with brick and mortar because brick and mortar has been coming to them as a free product from some public scheme. So this is the state of affairs. And these people will never be able to retain any culture of any kind. But look at this one here. This particular picture here, you can see the bottom left is our missing house. And that is a vernacular architecture, vernacular house for a particular missing community in a very particular location. And these people exactly know how to live there by the flood. And these are the houses. If we ever do something, we need to look at how best we can modernize these houses for these kind of people so that they become empowered. And if you see on the right hand side, this is where I have taken a few photos from Sualkuchi Gaon. Sualkuchi is a village about 100 kilometers or maybe 70 kilometers from Guwahati to the west. And this particular village is very proud of their own fabric industry. So they produce very high-end fabric for Assam, and this Assam's fabric, that Muga silk, it goes to anywhere in the world, and they are very high-value commodity. And these things are produced in a very unique way. And you can see all the designs. I mean, those who are not from Assam, you would not perhaps know by the description that I'm explaining. But when you see the actual product, is so beautiful, and this product all comes from this punch card that they have all developed locally. And this punch card is the is the paper-based punch card, and that goes to a very particular weaving machine, which is basically a wooden machine, and they are all built at home by the villagers. And now, if you think about the brick and mortar house that I have shown you before, and how that brick and mortar house can ever house this kind of industry, this kind of local need is not quite understood by those grand top-down programs. So this is very, very important. And we have done some research. One of my students from Karbi Anglong is currently looking at housing design and the space within the Karbi Anglong community. So these are some of the work that she is doing. I don't want to go too much into detail, but we started working on some of the real problems with very limited resources. So I'm going to stop that slide sharing here. Now I'm going to show you one other documentation that I have got it here, which is the Smart Villages documentation that I have generated for the Binesa Brahma to take it on. So now you can see here, so these are the work that we have been doing. So now question here is that how, now I have written books, I have given the policy framework to the government of Assam, but what is going to really do that one at the end? Is it going to really help anybody with those documentations? Maybe the answer is no. So it is important that we do something alongside these initiatives as well. So just one sec. Am I sharing this the next document, which is the PDF document? Just please bear with me one sec. What happened there? So am I, just one check. I'm sharing the next document, which is this one here. Okay, this document is visible now? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So now what we are heading, where we are heading to. So this research-based work and our academic work and knowledge base and collaboration, everything is going well. And that is something that formally happens, but informally where we are up to. So my intention here is not to simply leave our, the new knowledge that we have created in the self and in the book, and then nobody reads and nobody cares. It's very important that we somehow translate that sort of knowledge into the practice. So that is where then I started developing the workshop idea. So this workshop, very first time I developed the concept, and then I spoke to Middleton, and he said, look, sir, I'm ready. Let's do it. So idea here is that this workshop, I wanted to really do it on the ground with the participants from the villages and other neighborhoods, and come and join hands and actually work on the master plan of a particular village. So that is how basically I developed this particular documentations here. And I don't want to go into too much details, but I will show you. Again, you see my book that that is what basically giving me the foundation here. So Smart Village is all about the function of housing, health, environment, education, job and income, and civic sense and security and everything. So this all has to be done. Develop these concepts in reality, and I wanted to get these participants, senior school students or college students, academic members, representatives from the head, from the villages, the headmen, office bearers from the local government, officials from local banks, NGOs, and other people, municipality people. Everybody should come together. So think about that. These are a very special group of people. They wanted to really work on a very particular village. It's a very context-specific solution. So a particular village we can actually identify, and these people will come. Then we wanted to actually start working on a very scientific rationale in terms of what the village is about, what do they have, where are the potentials, how we can actually start working on the bottom-up approach kind of way to empower the community, starting with very many different things. So within that range of group that I wanted to bring in the first place, I wanted to create some very special interest group within that bigger group, so that everybody takes a very particular area. So for example, this is a streetscape or beautification could be one area, restoration of the culture and heritage is another area, education and skill is another area, roads and drainage is another area, agriculture is another area, and so on. So within the same village, so different special interest groups will then start working on the potential and the roadmaps in terms of actual action planning and benefit analysis as well. So then we keep going to find out basically who are the people responsible, who are the people we can talk and rely on, and how they can actually finally get this job done. So we are taking a project-based approach. Every single idea under the special interest group will be developed as a project plan, and this project plan will have a very clear scope, clear cost, clear time, clear risks, clear quality, and a deliverable milestones as well. So then in terms of the funding, we also talk about the funding as well, the financial planning. So where the money is going to come from? Is there any idea that we can connect with the current public schemes, that we can get the money from the local panchayat, or is there any other plans that nothing comes under the current public schemes, can come from CSR funding, for example. Some of the organizations might give the CSR funding, or some of the local volunteers might give the donations. So whatever ways, so we need to really work on every single plan with a very clear idea of how we can finally get that done through the villagers. So this is the whole idea. So I actually worked on the entire program and given to Middleton, and that is where basically he started. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. One of the ideas could be streetscape and beautification. So why I'm bringing this idea here? Because this is important to realize. All of you know how beautiful these flowers are, and needless to say that you will all understand basically where these flowers are coming from and what is this flowers about. So on the left hand side on the top is all about maple trees, and this Canadian maple. In Canada, these trees are everywhere, but in other part of the world also available, including Australia. These maple trees I have just taken from our streets in Melbourne. And you see, this street is a very ordinary street, as same as our Indian streets. But what is unique here is the trees on the side that is giving you so beautiful view and looking beautiful. And this is worth stopping and taking a picture. On the right hand side, next picture here is the cherry blossoms in Japan. And this picture I have taken in Japan, for example. And now you see in Japan what happens. These flowers of these trees just blossom only for 2 weeks in April. And Japan's cherry blossom, who doesn't know in this world? Whole world comes to Japan, brings billions of tourist dollars just to pour into Japanese streets, just to see this beautiful natural beauty. It is possible that we also have this kind of trees and properly planted and can be shown to the rest of the world. That is a money-making way of perhaps thinking for the villagers. Then if you look at the bottom left, that is a jacaranda tree, again in Melbourne. In Melbourne, very popular. And you see here, this is a natural flower. These trees are basically planted in a way, it gives the flower in a particular season, and then the whole road is worth seeing. Imagine in Assam, in some villages, if we are able to bring those beautiful, local flowery trees in a very particular manner, that will be worth seeing. People will come, rest of the world will come and then spend time as a tourist and bring the money there. So the villagers can make money out of this kind of natural beauty. Right hand side is the same, just a tree, but this tree itself giving you that sort of the beauty. So then, if we just wanted to simply think about one particular village, and we wanted to bring our own flower like Olaf flower or Modar flower or Bokul flower or Hawali flower, we can actually plan that way. But every single plan needs to have the viability analysis, effort analysis, milestone, benefit analysis. So this is what basically we wanted to really try with the local people in those workshop settings. Then finally, we need to have a project plan. And next one here is a very basic, the play facility for children, for community. So these are again, I am taking the examples from Melbourne suburbs. They are under the local council, they are under the local schools, they are government schools. Government schools in Australia have got these facilities which is almost available for the public. Why in Assam we cannot really create this facility? It doesn't cost that much money. It is possible that we can actually bring these kind of facilities for the school kids, for the village community, for the others to come and enjoy. So this is another way of actually modernizing and modernizing the community and then helping communities' well-being. This is another way, modernizing the local playground, school ground, and supporting well-being of the children in the community. Next one here is just a basic, fresh produces, organic farming and local economy. So we in Assam, our land is so fertile. Anywhere you want to plant something, it just grows overnight. So it is so possible that we just bring that local effort into that organic produce in the local context. So then this can actually not only cover cater for the local people, but also the district and national and international as well. So it is so easy that in Assam we have got something very specific and very unique kind of production that we can do. Tea is there, but in Assam, ginger, ginger from Karbi Anglong. I don't know how many of you know. Today I am buying ginger in Melbourne for $50, which is 2,500 per kilo today, and that ginger has come from China, because China production is not coming, and everybody is now eating ginger because there is a perception that ginger gives you the immunity. Now this is the level of this is the cost that we have to pay just to have the ginger in Melbourne today. So our Karbi Anglong ginger is so good, and it is one of the world's top quality, and it goes to whole of Europe. The European some supply chain is there. Most of the Karbi Anglong ginger goes to Europe, and they sell it for 50, 60, 70 euros per kilo. So that is the high value added product that we can produce in our local villages back in Assam. And I think this is possible that if we do it properly in a systematic manner, we can actually also bring the local economy alive as well. So the very last one here is our the problem in flood erosion. So in villages, as you can see on the top left, these are our basic engineering solution. All the flood management people, they are all so-called engineers, with beautiful mansions and big cars. They have got these solutions for protecting flood. As you know, this is never going to work. Left-hand side is the solutions year in, year out, is all gone wasted. It's not going to really work. So, and you can see on the right-hand side, this one again, you can see this house is about to be collapsed because of the erosion. So now what is happening here? So these kind of problems are there everywhere, and the government alone cannot do it. Flood control board cannot alone do it because limited resources and whatever problem is, but it has to be done by the people. And if you think about the Brahmaputra River in Assam, it is about 1,500 kilometers long. So we have got people on both the sides of Brahmaputra River. If we can actually keep, harness these resources and get everybody involved, we can easily control Brahmaputra River by planting these indigenous trees. How long does it take to grow these trees? If we have got rows of these trees, as you can see on the very bottom two pictures, and Brahmaputra can be controlled over time. And I've seen around the world, big rivers are all controlled with the structured engineered solutions as well as non-engineered solutions. Non-engineered solutions are as good as engineered solutions. In Assam, perhaps we need this kind of solutions, and which can only come from the villagers working locally. So I think this is what basically I have to say, that this is the beginning, and I really congratulate Bineshwar Brahmo for taking this initiative and then understanding my motives, and then joining hands. And whenever the time permits, we would like to really have that physical connection with those community on a very particular village settings. And your organization being a leading organization, people like me, I will go and spend time, and we'll get the mentors like Professor Bora, Professor Vijay. These are already the champions with us, and Mr. Samir Barua, I can see him. So we have got talents, and then all the distinguished people who had shared their vision and mission and their work through this particular program. They are incredible. But we have to bring everybody together into the same place, and context is the village and the villagers. We can do it together. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for
Okay.
the presentation and
thank you,
for
sir.
such an informative speech.
Nilakshi, Nilakshi. So we have a small request, and sir, Professor Dole, thank you so much for giving overview and in inner view, I would say, not overview. The entire picture of Paradigm. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your energy. Is really super high. We are there to take up your dream, your vision here. So we have small request, and that is that before we go to the next session. So I would like to request Dr. Amit Tetuja to come forward and maybe share a few words on the program, sir, because I came to know that you have another program which you need to attend within 5 minutes. So, sir, thank you so much for joining again, sir. So it's over to you, sir.
So thanks, Dr. Middleton, and thanks everyone. Thanks, Dr. Hemanta, Sabura, everyone. So it's a wonderful program and initiative that you've started, I think. And I've already interacted with all the students out there. I think everyone is so inspiring and so excited to work towards this project. And we would love to contribute in any way whatsoever possible. Maybe training the students or whatever technology interventions you're working in, we would love to support in whatever we can. And we would like to wish you best of luck for this project. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for inviting me.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir,
Yes,
for
thank you so
your
much.
valuable time. Now, hello.
Yes, carry forward. Now, yes, carry forward as usual. Because it was unprecedented.
Now we
I
have
came to
a
know.
voice message from Honorable Deputy Commissioner Kokrachar. So I would like to request Mr. Hilal Kashyap to please play this message for us. Hilal.
Hilal, this is not audible.
Sir, not audible.
Yeah, not audible.
1 minute, sir. Sir, now?
No, make it full volume.
Middleton, is Barasar still there? No?
Sir, I have to check, sir. You make full volume, Hilal. You make full volume. It's not 100%. You play this one. Make no. See the player. It's only 70%.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Now you play. No, it's not audible. Forget it then. It's not audible.
No, it will be not possible because the Zoom does not really provide, give this kind of.
I'm sorry, I could not be online
you remove
because where I'm traveling, the network is not good enough. But this is through a voice message that I'm greeting you all.
Hilal, you remove it. It's not audible. Let me play from my side. Okay, is it audible now?
Wanted to be with you, but
Yes, it's audible.
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry I could not be online because where I'm traveling, the network is not good enough. But this is through a voice message that I'm greeting you all. I wanted to be with you, but I could not. I regret when not been able to with you, but I'm very grateful for the organizers. I'm grateful to the organizers for having organized this 1 week this session on smart villages, and I'm sure a lot of good discussions and observations have been made by the various participants, and I'm sure this will take the discussion, and this will take the ideas forward, and certainly a lot of analysis and a lot of positive action to come out of it. And indeed, it is with discussions and deliberations of this nature that that really could help put forward the agenda that the government and other agencies have in having smart villages or smart cities all over the country, because it is only with the convergence of minds from various faculties that a very positive output could be arrived at. And I'm glad that that organizers have taken this into consideration and have organized a wonderful 1 week session with all of the participants. And I'm sure, again, I'm sure that this will lead to great discussions, and the end of opinions that has been generated here will certainly be of great use for everybody. Thank you all.
Okay, so thank you so much for patient hearing. So I'm done. I'm done. Lakshmi, please take over.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Hilal. Now, I would like to request Mr. Samir Barua, top banker, mentor, and advisor, Laghu Udyog Bharti Northeast, to please share his views with us. Samir,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. It is, I must thank the Assam Science and Technology University for having taken this initiative. And Dr. Bara happens to be a very close senior friend of mine since long years, 1976, when he was at PRL Ahmedabad. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And I'm very glad to hear Professor Mr. Vijay, Professor Vijay giving us a broad overview, and it was wonderful. And it is always a pleasure listening to Dr. Hemanta Doloi and the whole concept. Incidentally, when we were going through this, I was recollecting my experience of 2007 in Tamil Nadu, when we had taken such initiative. And today I can proudly say that that was an initiative of rural development and microfinance, how it was possible for us to leverage the core competencies of various organizations and coming out with interventions in 20 villages in Tamil Nadu. And we made a success story of that. And that was possible because we had identified a lot of organizations who had come along with their core competencies. And we had leveraged the core competencies, and accordingly, the whole project was taken into account. That was in 2007. And day before yesterday, about 3 days back, I obtained a report from Tamil Nadu, and they said that the project is still going fine. That is a proof of a sustainable rural development program under the village network economy, where these 20 villages, they were able to produce and consume within the 20 villages, and the surplus used to go out of these villages, and that surplus was again adding to the wealth of these 20 villages. And this, there were a lot of interventions of engineering college, medical college, and then there was intervention of scientific organizations. There was intervention of MS Swaminathan Foundation for Agriculture Research. So we had taken the support of all these institutions and organizations. And it was, I'm very glad that Government of India has taken this initiative, and the need of the faculty, as far as the requirement of faculty and students to go beyond the compound, and become concerned about rural development is something very unique. And I can assure that I'm there involved with Professor Medelson and then BBEC and with the Assam Science and Technology University. As far as finance is concerned, as far as banking is concerned, that is my forte. And I have been taking a lot of pains in order to carry out a mission on financial literacy, which is the bane in the sense that most of these micro enterprises, they are remaining in the unorganized sector. Because they are remaining in the unorganized sector, they have not been able to raise finance from the organized banking sector, and because of which they are remaining at the subsistence level. With these interventions, I'm quite certain that we will be able to take them out of the subsistence level and then integrate them to the global value chain. I was very pleased to have the session with the participants, and I found that they took a lot of interest. And I must specially make a mention that the Binesar Brahma Engineering College, the initiative that they've been taking and the interest that they've been taking, I am quite certain this Assam Engineering College, the Jorhat Engineering College, and all the engineering colleges in this state of Assam under the dynamic leadership of Dr. Dhiraj Bora, I think I'm definitely will be able to motivate, inspire the faculty. And I'm very happy that there is a provision under the Unnat Bharat Assam and India, that there is a provision for mentor faculty. And this is very important because most of our professors, they remain quite tied up with the semester system, etc. The mentor faculty will be able to provide that sort of mentoring services as far as the students are concerned. That means the prospective entrepreneurs are concerned in their both enterprise and startup mission. And as far as finance is concerned, as we all know, access to finance is one of the biggest issues for all the prospective entrepreneurs and existing entrepreneurs also. That is why from the banking industry point of view, we will definitely need to urge upon the banking industry to come forward, be proactive in their EA, and there should not be any, they should not suffer from the credit risk and risk aversion phenomena that is being seen. I am very happy that the Union Finance Minister also the other day once again urged upon the banking industry to come forward proactively and help this mission of transforming job seekers into job creators. I once again thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity, and I have already assured them that my services will be available to them and on the mission of financial literacy in the villages, and how is it possible for us to empower them rather than appeasing them. I very firmly believe that the freebies and appeasement is going to help temporarily, but then if we want to give them permanent solution, then we definitely need to empower the villagers, and then their self-esteem is required to be raised. It is not that we will give an impression that as if we will do everything for them. We will do only the hand-holding part. The rest of the work will have to empower the villagers, and then they themselves will have to do. I once again thank Professor Mendelson for the special interest that he has been taking. I also thank the principal of the Binesar Brahma Engineering College for the special interest taken. And I am quite certain with Professor Dhiraj Bora at the helm of affairs, I am quite certain that all the support will be available. And with Professor Vijay also, the support that is there from the Government of India side, I am quite certain that Assam villages definitely will turn around, and Assam villages are unique. I also agree with Dr. Hemanta Dole that we need bottoms-up approach because Northeast itself is very unique. It's like a miniature India. We have a lot of good practices. We have a lot of good customs. We have a lot of heritage. All these things need to be protected. And with this also, a lot of economic upliftment, cultural upliftment, socio-economic upliftment can be there for the people. And top-down will be necessary, obviously. Along with top-down, some bottoms-up approach also will be required. And whatever construction management activities that will be carried out, that will have to keep in view, as Dr. Dole had very correctly stated, we will keep the cultural heritage in mind and have such type of constructions which will attract the whole world to come and see our villages. And that will be an income generating source also. And once again, thank you all, and looking forward to be closely associated with this whole project. And once again, a special thank you, Dr.
So yes, so thank you so much for your notes. We really appreciate, in spite of your schedule, you are available here. So now the next session is like we carry forward. So if any participant would like to share a feedback of this program, maybe one or two can come up. Please, you are welcome to share your thought on that. So participant can come forward. Anyone can come forward and share their thought. How you have been in this 1 week with us. Is it audible? Is it all right?
Yes,
participant? Sir. Yeah. So participant can come forward, if you want to share something. If not, then so we'll move forward. Yeah, please. Yes, sir, please. Pengon, sir. Yeah. Pongan, sir. Yeah, right, sir. Hello. No, I think it's not possible. I think. Okay, so Nagarajan sir has sent a message that it's not a problem, so he cannot share. But anyway, sir, so thank you so much for showing your interest. And also, next is my job. My job is just to take a note and keep on record that we really appreciate all the people who are involved from a local chapter of this Smart Village and Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. We are really very blessed. I take this opportunity, to express my word of thanks to all the contributor here, starting from the speaker and then this DICE member from today. We have a very dignified chief guest, Professor Dheeraj Bora, and then guest of honors, Professor Mr. Bhaskar Fukan, who is not available online, but he shared his message. I pray for you. He is the Deputy Commissioner of Kokrajhar, and Professor Virendra Kumar Vijay, who is the torch bearer of this Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. We are really blessed to have you, sir. And also, I'd like to thank, this endless team are there who from Mirnar Talukdar, starting from Mirnar Talukdar to the end, Professor Chaudhary. In these 7 days, we have a very, very, very interesting session, and starting from him to the last session. I'm really grateful that, Mr. Borua, Mr. Urvasi, Dr. Saini Urvasi Saini, and Professor Pan, Professor Kakuti, Professor Sharma, and Professor Dole, and Professor Kovet, those were there. So thank you so much for, being with us, And also I would like to thank the honorable principal, without him, this movement would not have moved in a pace it is. So I'm really very happy, and I'm really thankful to his enthusiastic support. And also my special thanks, this all young boys and girls there. I would proudly say they are, they are the main hero of this program. Starting from Miss Padmini Tamuli, Nilakshi Devi, Partha Sharma, Juganda, Munun, and yes, the expert, the IT expert, Mr. Hilal Keshav. This all technical solution from Zoom to the YouTube streaming he has done it. So thank you so much, boys and girls. I'm very proud of you. Because of this, we have able to did our job with the honesty and sincerely. Also, I like to congratulate all these people, not only them, even the participant also, for making this program very successful. For me, it's a very successful, at least. And I also very humbly express my gratitude to the entire participant from Jammu and Kashmir to Tamil Nadu. If I've missed out in between, please excuse me. And from Nagaland to Maharashtra, I'm very thankful to my in between Bihar are there, Madhya Pradesh are there. So thank you so much, for making this program very successful. Now, and being, this entire thing, the reason of this is really very much appreciating. Now, let me tell you, this financial metrics which was shared in all of the day and today especially. Please ask the villager wherever possible, to enroll in Atal Pension Yojana. This is when you calculate it, you really know this is really very much benefiting. From 200 to 500 per month, you are going to get a monthly pension after 60 more than 2 to 3,000 onward to 5,000. So please ask them. And the second is that please ask the villager to enroll in the personal accidental insurance. This is like giving 1,000 rupees something and then you forget it. In a year you'll be getting almost 20 lakh insurance cover. So I think anybody can do it. Our mobile recharge is a minimum is almost like 200 to 300. So I think this message can be passed on. So with this note, I really wanted to thanks all and thanks the speaker as well as the guest for joining with us. Now I request to Nilakshi to come forward.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us the opportunity to interact with such renowned resource speakers. And it's all your hard work, sir. So last but not the least, I would like to request my friend Miss Padmini Tamuli to please give the closing remark of our 1 week seminar.
Thank you, Nilakshi.
Yes.
Good afternoon to all.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
One chat is there. Harseto. Can I speak for a moment, please? He wrote.
Yes, sure, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Respected Sir Medalson Ronghang, Sir Hemanta Doloy, your wonderful team, all the high dignitaries present here. It's me, Verisato, pursuing my bachelor's degree from St. Xavier College, Jaluke. I take this opportunity on behalf of myself, my college, and the entire state of Nagaland to thank Bineshwar Brahma Engineering College, Kokrajhar, and University of Melbourne, Australia, for having organized such a beautiful, wonderful, informative, and beneficial webinar. I also thank all the high dignitaries who have spared their precious time and came forward to educate us, despite of their busy schedule. Though I don't have anything to give in return, I would rather say a very big thank you for everything, for this wonderful program held from 14 September to 20th September 2020. It was indeed a grand success. Without you all, this would not be possible. I know that all the participants who have attended this webinar have been greatly enriched in a way or the other. Last but not least, I would like to really say thank you to Unat Bharat Abhiyan, Sir Medalson Ronghang, Sir Hemanta Doloy, and all the high dignitaries who have come and taught us for the wonderful program on smart villages by intervention and visible solutions. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Versito sir. Sorry if I have pronounced it wrong. Now, I would like to request my friend Ms. Padmini Tamuli to please give the closing remark for our seminar.
Thank you, Nilakshi. A very warm good afternoon to all. As all good things come to an end in life, so is the seminar. On behalf of Smart Village Lab Local Chapter, Vinishra Brahma Engineering College, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this seminar on smart villages by intervention and visible solution organized by Smart Village Lab Local Chapter, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan Unit, Vinishra Brahma Engineering College, Kokrajhar, and University of Melbourne, Australia. At the outset, I thank our chief guest, Professor Dr. Dheeraj Bora, our guest of honor, Bhaskar Phukon, Professor Virendra Kumar Vijay sir, Dr. Hemanta Doloy sir, and Dr. Kamal Kumar Brahma sir. All my heartiest thanks to all the resource speaker for their endless support. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. We are thankful to our guide and mentor, Dr. Hemanta Doloy, and our moderator, Dr. Medalson Ronghang sir. I would like to thank our principal sir, Dr. Kamal Kumar Brahma, for his enthusiastic support. A special thanks to the organizing committee, teaching and non-teaching staff for their unflinching support and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to the students of Vinishra Brahma Engineering College and to all the active participation. With this warm word and a kind message, we move to the end of today's seminar. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
so
much.
honorable principal sir is there. Principal sir, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, sir. So sir, now I would like to request you to to close to order us to close this meeting, sir. So you can pronounce
conclude,
as a
please.
close, sir. Yeah. Okay.
You,
Thank you so
you
much,
can
sir.
conclude now. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, sir. Perfect. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. So now,
Thank you.
honorable principal has given the direction, a guidance or a blessing, and to conclude this program. So the program ended now. So thank you so much for all being with this 7 days. This is really awesome. It's I don't know. I have no word actually. I'm super excited and emotion. To see my boys and girls are doing very well. And of course, thank you all. Thank you so much. See you sometime in life.
The
Yeah.
session is
And
starting. Our session starts now. Our mission starts now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All the participants will like to have your connection with you since we have your Google form. We saw your expression of interest. Also, there is certain. So we'll try to communicate and we'll try to build up a new relation, a new synergic. I would say not only synergic relation in future. So kindly fill that form which I have shared you before. This is the overall program feedback. So we would really like to have where we have done wrong or where we can improve ourselves in next in the coming program. Because we really want to be connected with you, not only in this format, in all kind of format. So please do give your blessing and do give the genuine, honest opinion on that. Nothing like that. Just give your honest opinion. Jushmita, want to say something? Zusmita, you raise your hand if you want to say something. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Satyapriya Sahu, please. Would you like to say something?
Yes, sir. Hi, good
Yes,
afternoon,
sir. Sir.
everyone. Thank you
Very good
so
afternoon.
much to be a part of this wonderful workshop. I really learned a lot. And as I'm a rural development professional working over 8 years of in this professional sector, and though I work within the health and nutrition sector, but I have a personal interest on overall village development, and this workshop really helped me to learn so many new things, listen to all the esteemed speakers. It was a wonderful to be a part of this session, and I really thank to all the organizers who have arranged everything for possible for us. I from Orissa, there are lots of people from different parts of the country also became a part of this workshop and made it really successful. I'm really saying bottom of my heart thank you to you also for organizing everything on time and taking care of each and every participant's questions and answers, and trying to address it on time. And one suggestion, one request from my side, if you could circulate all the resources that are used by our esteemed speakers to all the participants, it will be really helpful to keep those resources in ourselves and enhance our own knowledge. That's it.
Yes, yes, certainly it will be done, sir. And since it was already informed that it's available in the YouTube, so today's session is also streaming over there. So of course we'll share that, sir. So with that note, sir, so thank you so much, and then so we'll close finally. Okay, so bye bye. See you soon. Your certificate will be given. Don't worry about that. Okay, so bye bye. Yes, hello, bye. Yes.